round of applause for the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics Choir. We are inviting them back on stage just to, again, keep you on your toes. You never know who is coming next. So we're going to re-invite the Africa Technique. They're going to do another quick dance performance for us. And the same way you all joined by clapping, I ask that you also join by standing on each other's shoulders and heads. It's an easy way to participate and get involved in the team. Let's give the Africa Technique a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Africa Technique! Fantastic, fantastic. As well. Just before His Excellency, the Deputy President, joins us, and what we are going to do is a short activity that is going to take us a very short time. So I'm going to ask if we can all rise to our feet. Can we all rise to our feet, please? Right. Now, what we are going to do is a simple countdown exercise. I know we are all very comfortable with mathematics, and the way this is going to work is with our four limbs. This is by our right hand, so raise your right hand and shake it like that. Then we have our left hand that we will shake the same way, and then please kick your right foot, right, and your left foot, okay? And do this in any way that you feel comfortable. Now, we are going to do a factorial countdown. From 10 factorial on each limb, we are going to count down. So it's going to be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 10, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right foot, left foot. Then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, left. Then 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So my question is, how long do you think this is going to take us to do? Just shout out answers, it's fine. Was that 1 year? Was that? Somebody, no, I just want to, how long do you think it'll take us to get through? 4 minutes? 1 minute? Okay. So, some of you have said 1 minute. I believe we can do this in under 1 minute. Some of you might have done this before. So for those of you who have not done this before, I am going to walk you through this. And just to show you that I am not cheating with the time, I am going to open up my stopwatch so that you can all see that I'm going to start the timer, my countdown timer in fact, put it for 1 minute, not 1 hour, my apologies. Okay, now, I am going to turn to that camera there, and hopefully you can see. Can you see that it's blinking at 59 seconds? All right. So, are we all ready, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen of the Global Data Festival and Kenya Space Expo and Conference 2026, are we all ready? Okay, in 3. Please, again, keep it on. I just want to press pause. Hands up, right hand in the air, right hand in the air. Remember, 10, 9, 8, 7. I'm going to be counting together, and I want you to count with me. In 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can't hear you. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Louder. 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 6, 7, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 20 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. We had 1 second to spare. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause. Fantastic. You may take your seats now. If you even want to sit down, I'm sure you want to stay standing and counting down, which is fantastic. All right. So, as we had mentioned, we are anticipating the entry of His Excellency, the Deputy President of Kenya, who will determine our start time for this next session. I had said this earlier, and I know some of us were still coming in, but what is essential for us to know is that when he arrives, we will all be upstanding, so on our feet again. And look, he doesn't know that we have been practicing cheering. We had an audio meter, applausometer, that's the one. We had an applause meter. We know how to get to 100 decibels. So when he comes in, let's give him a round of applause that is enthusiastic, exciting. Let's surprise him. You know, again, as the senior official that he is, they're used to very polite rounds of applause. And I want us to be very loud, very energetic, but respectful at the same time. So number one, we will all be on our feet when he walks in. We will then have the Kenyan national anthem and the East African community anthem that will go back to back. We will stay on our feet for those two as well. Thereafter, we will have an opening prayer, and we will still be on our feet. And then we'll get started with our program. The way this will work, generally speaking, in a quick nutshell, is we will have 1 or 2 quick remarks. There's a short video we will see, then 1 or 2 remarks. Then we'll have a very short, powerful discussion before we move into the official keynote remarks from His Excellency. Thereafter, we will then go ahead and have a few photos, and the ceremony shall be officially open. Are we all together with that? All right, so as we wait for His Excellency to join us, we will give you 3 minutes not to leave the room, but just to ensure. Has everybody here met their neighbor? How many of you did not know your neighbor? Now, if you know your neighbor, why do you know your neighbor? Are they from the same organization? If they are, this is the time to move to the back and meet somebody new. But we'll give you a few minutes just to process everything that we have had over the last 8 hours or so. And then we will get started with the program and come back on stage. But again, just remember our cue. When he comes, it will be all systems go, and we shall get started immediately. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I will ask that we be ready to be upstanding for His Excellency, the Deputy President of Kenya, Professor Kindiki. But be ready. As I said, once he comes, it's touch and go. So that exercise is for us to be on our toes. Once he walks in, he has already arrived and he's doing his little briefing. But once he comes in, we will then need to be ready to hop up to our feet. All right. So that was just a quick check, a quick, readiness check, and it seems like we are absolutely ready. So we can go back to the music and our discussions. Just know that when the lights turn back on, go time. Thank you. Please continue your discussions. You have 1 minute to conclude your concluded remarks to each other, and then we shall get started immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, another request from His Excellency's protocol team is that sometime between now and the next 30 seconds, that all our phones should be on silent or vibrate. You don't have to turn them off, but silent or vibrate. And if we can avoid taking photos, that would be better for everybody. But at the very least, if you can turn your phones on to vibrate or silent as we wait for him to join us, that is a request that has come from his security team. Thank you very much and for those of you at the back who I can't see, you can see me. Thank you so much for complying as well. All right. Again, we're on standby. So please go back to your fantastic conversations. It might be time to turn around and talk to whoever is behind you and let them also hear some of the insights that you have to share. Thank you very much. Hey, Catherine. ladies, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, if you see me walking slowly to the stage, just know it's not yet go time. We can still, when I rush and I'm sweating, then you know it's time to go. I have made a grave mistake and have been saying it the entire event. And I don't even know how to begin to apologize. The lovely choir that has been singing for us are not called the KNBS choir. They are called the KNBS staff choir. So I ask.
Taya. Our nations towards progress, prosperity, and our shared goals. May the partnerships formed here outlast this week, and the friendships formed here strengthen our shared mission.
Honorable Professor Kithure Kindiki, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense, Honorable Soipan Tuya, Principal Secretary is present, co-chairs, National Planning Committee, Global Data Festival, and Kenya Space Expo Conference. Guests, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, sir, with your permission, allow me to invite Ms. Nyevu Karisa to introduce a short video, and thereafter invite the co-chairs to make brief remarks.
Your Excellency, kindly indulge me 2 minutes of your time for a video highlighting our theme, powering resilience, innovation, and partnership through data and technology.
And that global community.
For introductory and welcome remarks, give me a hearty, warm welcome to Ambassador Phil Thigo from the Special Envoy of Technology. Round of applause.
Good evening. That was low. Good evening. Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Professor Kithure Kindiki, allow me, sir, to ride on already existing protocols. Your Excellency, allow me to join everyone in welcoming all our delegates, 1,200 strong, 65 countries, and partners to Nairobi for this official opening of the Global Data Festival 2026 and the Kenya Space Expo Conference. We are honored, Your Excellency, that we are in terms of data gaps and the global goals, but also to think for the next 30, 40 years, where will we be, especially in the context of leaving no one behind and ensuring that we end extreme poverty. So why Kenya and why now? 10 years ago, we met at a different hotel across the street where we birthed this partnership. And at that time, we were imagining a world where data can be the engine of sustainable development. Right now, Kenya is called again to convene another set of champions who are in this room to reimagine a world, yes, 4 years from now, where we have to achieve the sustainable development goals, but then where we have to implement locally in terms of building a multi-stakeholder ecosystem. And let me thank, of course, Brigadier Hillary and the DG for the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics for bringing these data communities together. Many of you in the room will agree, 10 years ago, this was not possible. And so, with a round of applause, and as I leave, please thank my colleagues and welcome to Nairobi.
Keep the rounds of applause, please. Next, I'd like to invite Ms. Jana Sultan, the CEO of Global Partnership for Sustainable Development Data, on behalf of the Planning Committee. Ms. Jana, rounds of applause, please.
Excellency, Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki, allow me to ride on the protocols already observed. It is my deep honor to welcome you all formally to the Global Data Festival and Kenya Space Expo and Conference on behalf of the Planning Committee and its co-chairs, Brigadier Hilary Kipkoske, Director General of the Kenya Space Agency, and Dr. McDonald George Obudo, Director General of the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Before I speak to the substance of this week, I want to acknowledge those whose leadership has made it possible. To the members of our board who are here with us in person and through video, Her Excellency Amina Mohammed, UN Deputy Secretary General, and Principal Secretary Dr. Korir Singoi, and Aiden Eyakuze, CEO of the Open Government Partnership. Without your leadership and support, none of this would have been possible. To Ambassador Matt Baugh, the British High Commissioner to Kenya, we are grateful for the UK's long-standing investment in data and statistical systems, which have had a profound effect. We are grateful for your support of this week's event and for the partnership that it represents. And to Ambassador Pedro Ruiz of Colombia, we appreciate the Government of Colombia's support for cooperation on data and statistics between Africa and Latin America. And to Sightsavers, our accessibility partner for the festival, who have ensured that we can make this festival as inclusive as possible. And finally, to our critical market partners, Google, Microsoft, and Space42. Let me turn now very briefly to why we are here. The Global Partnership is a network. With over 700 partners spanning government, civil society, business, academia, and international organizations, we exist to drive collective solutions. Solutions that no single actor could achieve working alone. And this week, over 1,200 delegates from more than 65 countries have the opportunity to make it so. We have come together in Kenya for a reason. Kenya is at the forefront of data and digital innovation on the continent and globally, and there's no better place to ask the questions that will define our times and shape what comes next. That conviction is the thread that runs through this festival. We began today by placing people at the center, because data only fulfills its promise when it reflects all communities, all people, and when those people are active participants in their own digital futures. Without that foundation, public trust erodes and transformation stalls. We then turned to investment, because investment is urgent. The confluence of crises testing our world today is simultaneously testing our data foundations, and this is precisely when investment matters most. Better data enables more efficient allocation of resources. It builds the foundations on which digital public infrastructure and AI can actually function and be trusted. These arguments are increasingly owned by the Global South. Over 80% of the delegates in this room are from Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean, and Asia. We're experiencing a shift, and we hope being here together will help our collective progress. In the days ahead, our plenaries will deepen these themes. In parallel sessions, you will have the opportunity to build new skills, have candid conversations, and develop real solutions across climate, health, agriculture, and emerging technologies. Throughout the week, I look forward to hearing what has inspired you, what you will take with you, and, more importantly, what commitments and partnerships you will carry forward to other gatherings, such as the UN World Data Forum and beyond. The government of Kenya has shown what it means to lead. I am confident this week will show the world what it means to lead together. Thank you and welcome.
Another round of applause, please, for Jenna. Thank you so much for those words. Your Excellency, welcome and thank you for being here. I think your presence, the weight of your authority adds and signals something to all of us that we already know, that the conversations that are happening now matter, and Kenya is going to be at the heart of it. We've just heard from Ambassador Thigo and Jenna as well about why we are here, the political stakes, the global coalition, and what we can do to move that forward. But now I want us to bring the conversation a little closer to the people on the ground, Your Excellency. With your permission, we have a very short, punchy panel discussion. It's not even a panel discussion at this point. It's going to be 10 minutes long, rapid fire, quick responses. And what it will allow us to discuss is Kenya's and Africa's unique opportunity to lead the global conversation on data for a more fair and equitable shared future for all humanity. I'm not going to sit down just yet because I would love us all to welcome our three panelists who represent government, civil society, the private sector, and the international community. So essentially, three different vantage points that can let us dissect this particular conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we've practiced our rounds of applause. His Excellency doesn't know how loud we can be, so let's impress him again. And help me welcome, first and foremost, to the stage, His Excellency Matt Ball, the British High Commissioner to Kenya, who is representing a partner that has backed Kenya's data and space ambitions, and who brings a diplomat's eye for what global cooperation actually requires. That was good. I saw His Excellency was impressed with that. So the next one, even higher. Next, please help me welcome Ms. Florence Sievuo, who is the Executive Director of the SDG Kenya Forum, and one of Kenya's, East Africa's most tenacious champions for inclusive data, the kind of data that counts people who are normally left uncounted. And last, but certainly not least, please help me welcome Charles Murito, Google's Regional Director for Government Affairs and Public Policy across Middle East and Africa, and someone who has been a champion rooted in Kenya's tech ecosystem for almost 2 decades. Initially, we had written over a decade, and then he corrected me. It's actually almost 2 decades. Thank you very much. A round of applause quickly for them. I have been informed that we have exactly 10 minutes to go through this, so I'm actually starting a timer on my phone so that there will be, on my watch, so that there will be no issue later on. Florence, let me start with you. We say data is how societies know themselves, but from someone outside this room, a farmer in Turkana, a mother in Kisumu, a youth in Kwale, why should this week, why should the Global Data Festival and the Kenya Space Expo and Conference matter?
Thank you very much. Good evening, colleagues, all protocols observed. This is a great pleasure coming from the civil society organizations, and this is what makes this global festival very special, ensuring that we can have voices from communities. And so one of the things that is very, very critical when you talk about communities or civil society organizations, it's never about the abstract data, the spreadsheets, you know, the things that we all know about data. but this is about the lived realities. It's about survival. It's about a woman in Turkana, when she goes to the maternal clinics. It's about, them getting food reliefs. It's about the things that we care about as communities. And so then how do we ensure that the conversations that we are having here is not just among us as elites or as government officials, as the delegates that are coming from all these countries, but we can translate this to sustainable development. And so one of the things that civil society organizations in Kenya have been very instrumental about is the citizen-generated data. And this has been championed by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, giving us an opportunity to also produce data that can be considered fit for use. This means the methodology has been defined, and also ensuring that the things we care about that may not be traditionally under the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics can be considered. Of course, there are many gaps and there are many things that need to be done, but then how do we achieve sustainable development goals if we do not leave anyone behind? How do we ensure that the things that matter most, be it food reliefs, be it issues about healthcare, about water and sanitation, and a lot of this is being done, and very good examples. If you go to our websites, if you go to some of the things that Kenya Bureau of Statistics and ourselves are doing, you'll be very amazed the kind of data that is coming out from these kind of sectors. So for us, it's a call to say that let's not leave anyone behind in terms of data. There's a great, great opportunity for African countries. There's a great opportunity for Kenya for us to accelerate what needs to be done in all sectors. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Florence. And she touched on something. Oh, please, yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Why not? Absolutely. Florence, you touched on something that's interesting: lived reality, sustainable development, and making sure that nobody is left behind. Charles, Google has been investing heavily in AI and technology in Africa, in Kenya. We know the Umoja cable is there, AI tools. How do we ensure that what Florence is talking about, of making sure that data not only benefits, but also is pulled from the very last mile? How do we ensure that from, again, your side, your perspective from Google, that the infrastructure we're building affects the very, very last individual?
Your Excellency, thank you very much. Standing on previous protocol, that's a fantastic question. I think the way that we think about it at Google is that we have to build the hardware and the infrastructure first, which is the first layer of what we do. However, once we have that infrastructure, what we start doing is pulling together the investments in terms of products and also the programs that we do. So I just want to give you a couple of examples. So beyond Equiano and Umoja, which bring connectivity into the continent, we now have a product development center here in Nairobi, where we're creating products which then are supposed to service the world. So we have products, for instance, AlphaFold, which is working towards helping diagnose diseases that have historically not been diagnosed, or diseases which have been left behind. And that is by creating open data sets through the AlphaFold project. And we have African scientists who are now working on cures for diseases which will be able to help solve some of these issues. We also have other programs, for instance, the ability to do flood forecasting. All of this uses data to be able to predict where the floods are going to happen days in advance, and then people can be able to evacuate their livestock, their property, so that they do not suffer as much economic damage at the end of the day. And then last but not least, the example that I want to give is around food security. Again, we need to know where the rain is going to happen, how much rain, and what crops are going to be useful for that. So those are just 3 examples of ways that our products at Google are affecting the person at the very end of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, Charles. Wonderful, wonderful work. I think brilliant work that's been done by Google, and I think we need to all chip in and support in any way that we can. Fantastic. Balozi, we often see that when development partners come to Africa, come to Kenya, they come with the answers already written. This is what we need to do. What does genuine partnership look like? And maybe more specifically, why do you believe, and I hope you believe, I'm putting the answer in his mouth, do you believe that Kenya and Africa are positioned to lead and be emerging leaders in the data, AI, emerging technology space?
Thank you. Three quick points from me. I think, do we believe? Absolutely. I think there is a fundamental opportunity here for both Kenya and across this continent to really harness the power of what is happening, but also to help lead that conversation and that global conversation right now. And I would offer 3 points. The first one really is that data drives growth, right? I mean, get the data right, better data will drive better choices. The UK and Kenya have understood that and have worked together for well over a decade now on precisely this agenda. Our colleagues from the Office of National Statistics with Kenyan counterparts in the KNBS have been working now to strengthen data infrastructure, to improve the quality and reliability of national statistics, and then strengthen that institutional capacity and capability. Why? Because the modern data economy is more than just a collect function. It's about taking the skills, the infrastructure, stimulating entrepreneurs, and turning that data into opportunity. And nowhere demonstrates this more than Kenya's Silicon Savannah, proving that deliberate investment in people, in technology, and indeed the data system can deliver. My second point, building on that one, is that data systems can really build trust. When budget allocations are transparent, corruption loses. When public health data is shared openly, you get better services for citizens. It is this obvious point now that modern, strong national data systems are as critical a part of the modern state of critical national infrastructure as hospitals, energy, and roads. Allowing governments, allowing authorities, I think, to target better, to respond faster, and build with confidence and to measure what matters to their citizens. And finally, and I think the ambassador's already mentioned this in his remarks, data application saves lives. We live in a world of compound crises, whether that's climate conflict, economic shock, or indeed now infectious disease. Data is no longer a technical nicety, it is a necessity. And for that reason, I think the partnership that we are seeing between the Kenya Space Agency, with the KNBS, I think is deeply, deeply exciting. Developing a more complete picture, the ability for government to move faster, be better informed, and also therefore to reach more people in a time of tightening resource where we need to make every dollar, every pound, and every shilling count. Data can drive impact.
Thank you, Balozi. Thank you, Balozi. Fantastic. My watch tells me we have about 1.5 minutes, so I want to hear very quickly from both of you, Charles, Lawrence. Why Africa? They're even cutting off my microphone because they're telling me time is up. Why Kenya? Why Africa? Why now? 15 seconds. They're also cutting off yours, Charles. They're telling us time is up. All right, go for it.
At this particular point, we have a couple of data points, and it's great to be here with the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Africa is going to be home of more than a third of the world's workforce over the next 20 years, 24 years to be exact. If we are going to be able to take advantage of that, we need to be able to organize that data, be able to get the right insights, and really get the right skill sets for our young people to be able to service the world. So right now is the time that we have to start taking the decisions to have the right educational systems, to make sure that we have the right curriculum for students, for teachers, to be able to disseminate that data and information so that we are ready for the world. If our young people are not ready for the world, then every potential that we discuss right now is really just going to be something that's dangerous and a tipping point for us. That's why it's Kenya and Africa right now.
We have the tools, we have the building blocks, let's lay the foundation. Same thing, Florence.
Thank you very much. A very critical question. And this shows us why we are here in Kenya and for the very first time, this being hosted in Africa. Africa has a youthful tech-savvy population that we need to take advantage of. A lot of our young people have great ideas. They are doing a lot that none of us or many of us are not aware about. We're not giving them the space. And that's why a lot of civil society organizations are really working closely with young people, giving them the space to innovate, to incubate ideas. And this is a call to a lot of the African governments to really prioritize and continue to support this kind of initiatives. Secondly, I think also Africa is talking about sovereignty in terms of space and data. And this conversation has really taken off in many, many countries. And so there's a good opportunity for us to tap into this data conversation and to ensure that all partnerships are on board, because data cannot just be about governments. Data needs to have the private sector, it needs to have academia, and all of us sitting in this space. And let us continue to showcase why this matters, and let us continue to simplify for communities to enjoy and also to understand, even if they're not literate, how can they understand why data and how they should utilize it for public participation, for them to engage in very local languages. And this is why we are called to do the kind of work we do. Thank you.
Fantastic. Localization, excellent answer. My watch tells me we have 1 minute left. So this is what we're going to do as concluded. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. No, time is up. So this is what I want us, all three of you, I'm going to give you 15 seconds, Charles. I'm going to give you 15 seconds, Florence. Olozi, I'll give you 30 seconds as a member of the diplomatic corps. And what I want you to answer is, in 10 years when we reconvene in a setting like this again, how will we know whether we have been successful? 15 seconds, Charles.
Thank you. In 10 years, I hope that when we reconvene here, we will not have the 79% learning poverty that we currently have in Kenya. The ability for our young people to be able to read and do arithmetic at the level that they should is going to be something that we've realized, and therefore we will be able to take advantage of the knowledge and insights that we actually have.
And the Global Digital Compact, significant progress has been made across the global data system. Our ability to assess, monitor, analyze, and find new foundation for better policy making and smarter investment. Across Africa and beyond, that power is now in our hands to deliver services and respond faster when crises hit. Despite the growing momentum, the downsides are clear. Significant gaps persist in access to data, digital infrastructure, technology, financing, and technical capacity, particularly across developing countries. At the same time, advances in emerging technologies are outpacing governance, inclusion, and equitable access. The digital divide is deepening across computing power, data access, language representation, or institutional capacity. And as these challenges are unfolding, instability is on the rise. Climate shocks are intensifying, and conflicts, including in the Middle East, are playing enormous pressure on communities and public systems. Addressing them requires collective action in 3 key areas. First, we must continue investing in robust and inclusive national data and statistical systems. And second, we must strengthen cooperation across sectors, technologies, and countries so that we can strengthen data quality, interoperability, and evidence-based decision-making. And third, we must keep equity and inclusion at the center of this work. Many people are still missing from the picture, including young people. Every gap in data risks leaving somebody behind. We must bridge those gaps. This is the work that carries us towards the 6th United Nations World Data Forum in Riyadh later this year, where what you will build in Nairobi can take on lasting global weight. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, Kenya gave the world some of its earliest tools. Today, it is helping shape some of its newest tools, from